Welcome back to the Wind Down. I'm your host, My. This is
Ross the boss.
and we're gonna bring you that relationship talk. You know it can't be one. We gotta do multiple series and it's still not ending, but it's your part 3. You're gonna get a 5, 6, 7, 8 because no, but relationships are so in depth. It's so much to cover.
So on that note, I feel like, whatever works for you in marriage and connection. Speaking of connection, what keeps you connected in love? Like what keeps you all on a more positive note, what keeps you connected? Like what makes you want to keep this marriage going? What makes you want to keep your person as your person? There's a billion people in the world, your person could be somebody else, but what makes you want this person and that's it. Like for me, I feel like the word connection and communication for me. Like if don't number one, don't start nothing and not keep it going. If this is the way you got me, this is the reason I fell in love, this is the reason we connect. Don't stop those little things, even if they're small things that I love or that he loves.
It's an expectation.
It's an expectation at this point. This is how you introduced yourself to me, and this is how we introduced this relationship. So don't stop that just because now we're together or you got me.
Right.
I got you, whatever. Like, no, keep it going. Otherwise, the change in the dynamic is not going to be the same. So for me, I'm like, that's what keeps the connection. And keep it spicy. I don't know how spicy, y'all be getting spicy, but keep it spicy. Don't get complacent with just sitting at home. Don't get complacent with just the regular shit that y'all might have to go through, kids, work, whatever, bills. Keep it spicy. Keep y'all relationship something different than home and kids and work and da. This is y'all relationship that the rest of that shit ain't gonna work without y'all two keeping it together. So.
And that's what we talked about the last time about like date night still being important.
Yeah.
Regardless if you have kids, y'all working.
Yep.
It's very important to still make time for the two of y'all.
Yeah.
And getting outside of your 4 walls.
Yeah.
That you guys are always in. It's not
same with family night.
Right.
Like, don't keep your kids in the 4 walls. Y'all gonna have y'all family time.
And not saying you
your girl time.
You gotta spend a stack on your relationship on whatever it is, because there's plenty of stuff to do.
It is.
That won't break your bank or whatever the case may be. Not even talking about finances, but it's just plenty.
But even with finances, like, y'all work for a reason and don't work for just bills. So if y'all got to take a few hundred to yourselves, y'all earn that. Y'all not just there to pay the bills and take care of the kids. Like, damn, do something for yourself. Take a quick Vegas run, San Diego.
Basically, make time for you guys together. Y'all. Get massages when you go out there. Cause to me, that's still part of
couple massage.
Yeah, like that still ties into your like even date night and stuff. That still ties into my self-care.
It do.
Like it ties into that.
It do.
And
it makes you more connected with the person when y'all doing shit that ain't gotta be done just because y'all chose to do it, just because y'all having fun doing it. Like, and if you're adventurous type, go ATV, riding together.
That's fun.
Do paint and sips together. Whatever you do, don't just
even if
do
y'all
the 4 walls.
Even if y'all just go to the beach and smoke a blunt and get out the fucking house.
Get out the house.
That's basically what it boils down to. Just have a different scenery. And I know you can make stuff happen date night at the house, but I'm just like, no, just get out the 4 wall. Get out your comfort zone.
And if you do got to be in the house, they do now on some YouTube shit like paint and sip out there. Get your wine, get your canvas.
And if you have kids, send them fucking kids away.
Or in the if they older, send them to the room.
And do not come out unless it's an emergency. The hell, no.
Feed them first.
Yeah, no, don't you come out and interrupt the check.
Yeah.
But no, I totally agree.
And if they're younger, see if you can get some you time.
Because an ex I had, we literally had a standing date night every Friday night without question. Like,
I like it.
We both knew that Friday was coming around. So whether we had kids or not,
this was the plan.
This is the plan. We're gonna have date night every single Friday night.
That's good.
And that was it worked for us. Like we came whether like at first we started off like going to dinner together. Eventually that turned into us just Like, even if we just took a walk around the neighborhood together.
Yeah, clowning and
right, but it's just our time together with no interruptions.
I agree, and not just sitting in the bed watching TV or some
And the
shit.
rule was no cell phones. Under no circumstance,
I love it.
No cell phones.
I love it
because we need to be tuned into each other, and I think that is definitely what you need to keep.
I like that. I love that. I think it should be Friday, Saturday, whatever day.
Whatever it is.
I love that. And I think it should be nothing that interrupts that time. Period.
Y'all should just be so focused on each other. To keep the relationship going. Yeah.
And that shit dies down, and then the relationship just kind of dies down with it. Because if y'all not going to make time for each other, what the fuck are we doing?
If we started out dating, doing date nights, certain times, okay, over the years, life might be happening.
Life happens.
So we're busy, it's a lot of stuff. But
I don't want no roommate and I don't want no homie.
Exactly. And
that's the only thing that makes us different.
I think the intimacy. You do make time for what you want.
What you want.
So if date night is important to you, you will make time to go on date night. Because I do think that is very key and important in a relationship.
I do too.
Just keeping y'all time together. Like, you guys do need to. You have to remember.
You gotta woosah.
You gotta always go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
What attracted y'all? Yeah. In date nights, because y'all wasn't when you met. Well, I know some people do, but for the most part, you're not just kicking it when you falling for this person. Yeah. Y'all really dating.
He trying to court you. He trying to steal money on you. So don't think because I'm your woman now that I just don't enjoy those things.
Because you got me, you supposed to turn that off. Yeah. Even me, like.
Yeah, you do more too for your man.
You do.
And then it dies down.
I know it was a dude that
if it dies
that
down.
was my man. I would massage his feet for him when he needed that. I had no problem. Yeah. I actually am good at that. Like, I'm better than the Asian people.
Yeah, me too.
Like, okay, I was getting them feet sitting on it. But
I don't like feet, but
I don't like feet either. But
if it's my man,
you my man,
right.
I'ma touch him. Right. However, if you're not doing what you need to do for me, I ain't touching them crusty, dusty ass feet, my nigga. Like, what you thought this was? You think I'm gonna touch them fucking feet? I'm only touching them because I love you. You doing for me, I'm gonna do for you and make you feel good too.
And that's called a compromise.
But if you not making me feel good, I ain't touching them critters. The fuck you thought this was? The hell?
And that's the thing.
Sorry, we're keeping this positive.
No,
no, for real, we're keeping this positive.
But that's the thing. You cannot stop something and expect your partner to still do how she was or he was. That's not happening.
And I've seen
that. She don't cook
that's
as much.
How I've seen
you don't
how
feed as much. Well, we don't go on dates as much, and you don't massage me as much.
And I've seen that in relationships, not necessarily. And it's not even just the men think or the woman just thinking that, because the men too, both. But I feel like if that's like going back to what you said, if that's how you started, that's how you end.
That's how
like you if you started whining and dining this female, you gotta still be whining and dining her. Now, of course, that's why we said date night. It doesn't have to be every night.
Yeah.
Once a week, you still gotta do the same. Something. You gotta put in the same energy that you were putting in before you had her.
And I think when they try to get you,
lose sight of that.
Lose sight of it. Mm-hmm. Because when they're trying to get you,
they'll do everything.
They do everything.
Once they get you.
They think outside the box. They got different date shit going on. But now you're in this 3-year relationship.
Because some of them think that once they get you, the work is over. The hard part
is over. No, it just started.
No, you didn't get me. I'm curious now. Now my eyebrows up. What you gonna do? Like, you know what I mean?
What's next? Now, because you started this way, you got to top yourself. I'm not saying every date night got to be top, and you keep trying to top yourself. But now we're just not finna just, I don't know. You have to be consistent. Period. You gotta be consistent.
And the thing is, if you are communicating, being consistent, all that, like me personally, if you're doing everything you need to do, and we've been to all these restaurants and all this stuff, and now our date night is just us going to the pier on the beach,
because y'all done did it all now.
Now we walking on the beach smoking a blunt. I am so content and happy with that. I'm not tripping because I'm spending time with my man.
And y'all think of new shit. Y'all start looking on Groupon and after a while and be like, shit.
I ain't gonna lie.
Let's do the paint
when I was
ceramic.
In a full, like, good phone blown relationship, girl, I was always on Groupon to see what the fuck is going on.
What were you doing?
So, and what I would do, of course, I would be like, I wouldn't get it. Hey, I just find this thing. I got his ticket. So you think you want to go? and then my man would be like, "Yeah, let's go here," and would Zelle me the money.
Yeah, and then you get it.
I didn't even buy the shit.
Right.
But it's like, let me throw that out there because we know we have these date nights. Let's switch it up. Let's do
Right.
something. But we're both invested in it.
And when
'Cause we
it
do
starts
want that
dying
time.
out, let's say he would have been like, nah, now it's dying out. Now it's not the same.
So
what we doing?
So what we doing?
Yeah.
Because we're never home on Friday night.
Yeah.
We're always out.
Yeah.
Whether we have kids or not.
Yeah.
Because we may not have kids. But
Yeah.
we have a standing date on Friday night.
Yeah.
So
And it's
I feel like I don't care if we're 2, 3, 4,
it's
5,
like a job. If
10,
you gotta be clocked in at 8 a.m. Friday night.
Like Slim Doug said, it takes 10 years. Well, if at year 10 you don't think you still have to court me and treat me like you did in year 1, we got a problem.
We got a problem.
Because I need that.
Because I still like it.
That energy you gave me in year 1, I'm going to need that in year 10.
I'm going to need it.
Well, first of all, I ain't giving you 10 years of my fucking life and you can't figure out what the fuck you want. Because it don't take us 10 years to figure out each other. Positive. I think that is a crazy. Positive. Yeah, positive. Positive vibes. Damn, I gotta talk to my therapist about this. I think it's some trauma in there.
Trauma in all of us. But
but seriously,
I agree.
Though.
I just listen. Stay consistent.
Consistency is always a
if
big
this
thing.
Is your person, don't drop the ball and think, oh, she here to stay, he here to stay. No. Married or not, I don't give a fuck if you married. Do you know that that's a paper away? There's divorce for a reason. That's a paper. That's a signature away.
And it's literally just a paper.
It's just.
Can I just say?
It's just a.
Because I'm not anti-marriage by far. I'm just saying, do not go through the most to get that one paper to say you're married, just to get divorced and have to go through all that bullshit with the paperwork. Not just the paperwork, but splitting of the
assets or some shit. If you own some shit.
Custody of the kids if y'all have kids. And I'm just saying, like, no.
And that's why I think some people stick with it, because they got kids or they got these things that they're doing together.
No.
And then by the time the kids is 18 and up, they like, okay, it's time to go now.
For me personally, because I'm totally with people keeping normalcy for their kids.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, as parents, I mean, I can't speak for fathers, but mothers, I know we will compromise ourselves in so many ways
for your
to keep shit normal
and for your mental health for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we want to keep shit normal for our kids, because we care.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, no, I'm not judging that. I totally get
that. But I'm not gonna be unhappy for my kids, because then they're not even getting the best of me.
That's how I feel too.
They're not getting the best.
If you're not bringing out the best, where I'm the best mother, I could be the best woman, I could be the best daughter, the best sister,
wife, whatever,
the best wife. I could wife. I mean, that's a lot of responsibility to be a wife. For
the right man, I mean,
for the right man, but it's still some responsibility with becoming a wife.
Listen, if you can go through motherhood, you can go through all this trauma with different shit in your life. Being a wife to the right person,
I know,
should be kind of.
I would be an amazing wife.
But
however, me and my way of being lazy, I'm like, that shit take work. So I say that to say, I wouldn't jump into a marriage situation, especially a marriage, because that's like a legal binding contract, something like that. I wouldn't jump into that without knowing 100% this is what I want to do, invest in this, because it's a business. So I want to invest in this business for us. Like I wouldn't do that.
Like we just said, is marriage, whatever, nothing is 100%.
Right.
Changes happen. Shit happens. People change. And fidelity happens.
And marriage is not a guarantee, because there's
not nothing
to say that you're not going to get divorced.
Listen, if life ain't a guarantee, fucking marriage ain't. The fuck, I could die tomorrow.
I know some people marry,
and I could get divorced tomorrow.
But I know some people will marry because if their spouse passes away, they get all the benefits of whatever.
Well, yeah. So there's certain things with marriage, like if your person that you're not married to goes into the hospital and certain things need to be made, that's now up to their mama or something, or their parents.
Yeah.
So if that person, if y'all been rocking for 10 years and you can't even make this decision that you know you and that person might have already talked about. And now that decision
you need to rethink that. No,
you gotta think about stuff like that.
But I think about that because while I'm sitting here talking about, I'm in my 40s, probably like a 50-year-old man. I'm not 50 is, to me, at this age, I know like the younger
It's not
kids, that's
older,
old as fuck.
right? But it's not.
It's not old. However, we
Older
can't do shit like we did in our 20s.
Right.
We got to take care of certain health issues
Right.
that we didn't have to maybe in our 20s.
Right.
So when I think about that, I'm like, it's no guarantee. However, I want to make sure that at 52, you don't drop dead. And if you do, I do have some type of security. Not saying I'm like,
no, it's security because he's paying certain things already. So when he's gone, there's no other income there.
What if we together and you go into the hospital?
Yeah.
Your life's work, and I want to resuscitate you. But your mama then said, no,
yeah,
do it. What is it? Do not NDR, whatever it is. DNR. Do not resuscitate.
Yeah.
And your mama's like, no, DNR. And I'm like, well, he told me specifically.
Right.
Your mama don't give a fuck about what I say. I'm not the fucking wife. In the hospital, don't give a fuck about what I say.
Who the fuck
because
you are.
We're not married.
You have no clout so when you walk in.
And he's not married. So it goes back to his parents having to say so. But this is the man that I've been rocking with for 10 years.
20 years.
He told me if God forbid something happened to him, he wants to get cremated.
And that's where in writing
he wants to do this,
because
do that. Yeah.
Matter of fact, when you write something down and you tell me, let's send it to your mama and your daddy and whoever else has that power to make those decisions so that they don't think that I'm lying or they don't think that these really wasn't your words. No, we're going to send it to everybody that day.
Yeah, I agree.
So that, but yeah, that comes with the benefit of choices. And if something happens, if a car accident happens, if whatever, so that, and I mean, the whole beneficiary thing, you don't have to be married for that.
No.
If that's what they made you already, regardless if you're married, that's what they made you. And that's what it is. Like, I hope you put whatever you needed to in writing so that nobody come for me. Because for some reason, especially for Black people, when people die, people go into crazy mode like these motherfuckers was billionaires.
It brings the worst out in people.
It brings the worst. They might have not owned nothing to their fucking name, and there's maybe a $70,000 policy or $50,000. They will fuck off family for that little bit of money. So when something's in writing from the person, a living trust maybe, or something's in writing, I don't gotta be put in that position because this came from that motherfucking mouth. So I don't want to be put in that position. Don't leave me nothing to share. Don't leave me nothing that I gotta make sure this person. No. Put that person down, put it in writing, and I ain't gotta worry about it. Because I don't want to go head up with nobody. Your mama, your siblings, your children, your nobody. So put it in writing and we ain't gotta worry about it because this came from his mouth.
Listen.
And if he gave it all to me, that came from his mouth.
No, seriously, like even like when my mother had her medical stuff, so when my mom had to go back and do all her stuff over, I was like, yeah, no, Mom, I was ready. Like she knows I'm good with the finances part, but medically, I don't know what the fuck. So she made her sister, who is a nurse, in charge of the medical. Because even when I was at the hospital, when they were asking me to make decisions, I kept going, I'm about to see my aunt from the airport in like 2 hours. Y'all can ask her. Like I made sure that my aunt. So and I communicated that with my mom.
Yeah.
So when my mom was doing all her, because I told my mom, like after my father died, I said, Mom, there is nothing worse than a parent making their child write their obituary. That shit was hard for my father. So I told my mom, I'm like, please just write your own obituary.
And a lot of people don't like to talk about death while they're alive, but I am so open now to it.
Me too.
I've just seen so much stuff happen.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it while you're alive.
That's and because me and my mom had to deal with it with my father, we got more open to each other. Yeah. Not necessarily with my siblings, but like with my mom specifically, we had to talk about stuff like that. Like I told her, because when my father died, my mom been with my dad for like 40 years. Yeah. She wasn't planning nothing for the funeral. She was just writing the checks like Maisha planned everything. So I had to make sure it was on point. So
which was hard for you too.
It was hard for me too, but because I knew it was harder for my mom, I put my pain to the side for my mother. So I was just like, yeah, Mom, no, we could do it together, but we need to write your obituary up front. So I'm not trying to write that while I'm grieving you and all that stuff.
For people that don't know maybe their parents' history, you should talk about that stuff while they're alive. Like, you won't
Totally
know.
agree.
I've done heard stories from my mama back in the day, stories and different shit like that. I know what hospital she was born at. I know, I know certain things, and I don't know certain things still. But I feel like you should talk about that while they're here. Yeah, it seems a little crazy to write your obituary while you're alive, but does it? I mean, you can do the
No,
start
it
off.
is
At first it's like where they were born,
right. But like certain
who they were
stuff,
born to,
I'm not gonna lie.
how
Like,
they grew up. I don't know some of that for you. I don't
right.
know some of how you grew up. So you need to write that down, and then when I find it, I'll finish the rest or something.
Now, me, my age,
I
know how people younger than me, they're not gonna like. My father was from the Jim Crow South,
Yeah.
so that was a little totally different, and then incorporating that because that Jim Crow South did shape certain decisions he had to make with certain things and all that other stuff. I know the generations, y'all ain't got to deal with that.
Right.
But again, and I'm like, why would you think that's significant? No, it's significant.
Yeah.
Because the way my father was with certain shit, because he came from the Jim Crow South.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm even in an obituary, you're basically telling like facts, right? So if you don't know these certain facts about your parents or whoever or your partner, you're going to be looking for other people to help you that may not be there.
And I had to ask my dad, my uncles. Like, my dad had 5 brothers. Yeah. He had 5 brothers and 4 sisters.
I may not even know how to spell half of their name.
Yeah.
So I feel like it should be written.
I had to call my uncle to get everybody's name.
But that's like us. Do we have that right now?
No.
Because why?
And we had to talk about certain stuff. But after me having to take on all of that, because I remember my uncles had came over to visit to see my mom during when we were planning the funeral. We planned my daddy's funeral 7 days. Me and my mom both made the decision. It was the day before my 32nd birthday. We both made the decision. We are not drawing this out for weeks. We can mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we cannot handle it. He died on a Friday night. He has to be buried by Saturday. That's what we both decided. So my mom had mentally checked out because that's been the person she's been with for 40 years. So my uncles, I don't even know how we got on this, but I always think about my uncles when I talk to them after the fact. They were like, we came over. They did. I'm on my phone. I got my little earpiece on. I'm making I got a hookup with the flower arrangements. I'm calling this church for this. Like, I'm doing everything because my mom is not mentally able. And because my mother is so strong, I've never seen her like that. I felt like it was my job. So I didn't actually grieve my father when he passed in that week. I didn't actually break down into the funeral. Yeah. Like, because that whole week, it was all business.
And a lot of people have that same business that you took care of. I have heard of some people that have their whole funeral set. Yeah. The plot, the church, the pastor, the flowers.
That's my mom.
I feel like I want to do that in case I have to leave.
I really feel like our parents, like my mom and my aunt did that for their brother because they knew he was dying. My father just died instantly. We didn't know. Right. And my mom mentally, because she had planned out her mother's funeral, her brother's funeral. My mom had always had everything in point. This one would just kind of hit us out of left field. Yeah. She didn't know. And again, she was just like, so she kind of shut down in a way. And I knew it was my job as my mom's daughter and my father's daughter. And I handle business. Yeah. It was my job.
But it does tie into relationships because just like what we're saying about decisions. They're married. What if they were never married? Some people don't get married at all. Right. They wouldn't have been able to make a decision for all these things, and so you do have to. It sounds like cliche, but you have to think about that
because listen, my father's family, they have a family plot where my grandmother, my grandfather in the South, my grandmother, my grandfather are there. The oldest brother is there. My dad was always the rebel, the black sheep of his siblings. My dad is not there. You know what I mean? He's in California at the VA. Yeah. So I'm just saying, but like and the brothers, they wanted my mom to ship the body, but my mom and my dad had intimate conversations, pillow talking. My dad wanted to be cremated.
There you go.
They didn't know that. Right. His brothers. His wife knew that. I knew that as his daughter because my mother had shared that with him when he was still alive.
And that's what I'm saying. The conversation is important.
And because me and my mom dealt with that together, I know what to do with her. Like my mother wants to be cremated too.
Yeah.
She wants to be next to her husband.
Yeah.
Like we had to discuss
my mom
that.
and my stepdad have their plots already. My dad said cremation for him.
Yeah.
It's certain things that you
have to discuss this.
Especially to the oldest sibling or the responsible sibling or whatever it is. And you have to tell, like, you can tell your husband and wife, cool, they should already know for sure, but you need to talk to your kids if they have age. Like, yeah, if they're teenagers, 13, 14, maybe not. But your partner, or let's say you don't have a partner, who should you talk to? Your siblings, maybe? Your parents, whatever, because it's important stuff.
And when it happens fast. And y'all gotta all be on the same. You guys gotta be on the same page, and you're gonna need your significant other to support you and whatever. So yeah. I don't even know how the fuck we got on it.
I don't know how we got on it. We got on it because of decisions that you can and can't make if you're married or not.
Right.
And those are the decisions. Some of those things you can't fucking do when you're not
if
married.
you know that this is a person you've been with for like 15 years, no offense, but if you want to be able to make those decisions,
you can still put it in writing without being married, right?
You can. I think it's a binding contract. A binding agreement. I believe you can still have it in writing with an agreement in a notary and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, just say no. There's none of that.
Folks don't do that.
But you don't get to make no decisions. All the decisions.
Listen, if you don't want that motherfucker to be on life support, but the mama do, it's the mama decision. If you want that motherfucker to be on life support and the mama like cut it off, he getting cut off.
But we say that to say you don't necessarily have to be married, but you need an agreement and contract.
It needs to be something in writing.
You have to have everything in writing
with your name in it.
Yeah. So you can make the decisions, but listen, my grandmother, I love her. I miss her. She was married to my grandfather. You know, my grandfather was 19 years older than my grandfather.
Damn.
Okay. When you see the pictures of her, I was like, you was hot ass with this old man. What was you doing? But I say that to say she didn't marry my step grandfather. She didn't marry him until my grandma knew she was dying, bitch. She knew. She didn't know what month, but she had been with him for over 10 years. And she would never marry him. And when she knew she got sick, because she had stage 4 cancer. So when she knew, she married him just so that she did a selfless act. She married him so that, because he always wanted to marry her. So she married him for him. Mm-hmm. And he only, when they were married, I think they only had like 3 or 4 months together, legally married. They have been living together for 14, 15 years. But she already been married. So she didn't really, she'd been through that. Yeah. Widowed and all that.
That's another thing. Like, some people don't want to get married again if they're already married. Like, I feel like if you've already been married for 30 years and then something happens, whether widow or divorce, some people don't want to get married again and do that again.
That's why I think she did that for him.
One time.
Me too.
That's the goal for everybody, I'm sure. Whatever. But I think after 30 years with motherfucker 40, I'm not doing it again. I wouldn't give a fuck if I found Uncle JoJo himself. We gonna be just dating. I don't give a fuck if he 80 years old, 70, 60, 50. We're not getting married. Unless that motherfucker is Prince Charles somebody. And then we're going to get married.
If I'm with you for 30, 40 years, all your assets are in my name. Because whatever your decision your mama want to make. Because if we're not married. But I know all your assets are in my motherfucking name. Because there ain't no way I'm going to be with you for 30 fucking years. And I can't make no decisions about
about your life, about our life.
30 years. But again, that does work for certain people. But I've seen where it works for them until it doesn't, because somebody passes away and that significant other has absolutely no ties. The mother plans the funeral, so they're not even.
If the mother and parents are still around.
If they're around. Just say they're still around.
I don't know whose decision it is then,
but say they're still around. So the parents are making all the decisions. And they're like, well, you're not married, so you don't get to be in the obituary. Even though I spent that 40 years with you.
Yes.
You're not legally
married. You're in there as a little girlfriend.
His special friend. Are you fucking kidding me? I got this nigga on my medical. Well, I think you got to be married to have my name.
Oh, yeah.
But still, you have him on something. You guys been holding it down.
As your special friend, bitch. You've been with this nigga for 30
You
years.
either
I don't even mean
you
to laugh
either
'cause it has
not
happened so
in
many
it.
times.
It had. I've seen it too. You're either not in it or you're their special friend in it.
You're their special fucking
Get the
friend.
fuck outta
Get
here.
the fuck out of my face. Okay, so
No.
yeah, no.
Sorry, we're supposed to keep it positive, but I just had to put that out there because I think that is some
That's
bullshit.
just crazy. That's crazy to me.
And I feel like
You know these motherfuckers
always
been
think
rocking,
that
living
was
together
like-
for how long?
yeah.
Since
And I
your
be
little
like-
son was a little son.
And I be like, that's that fuck boy shit because you should have put that. You should have put
That
your
is-
decisions in right. Now you got me looking like a fucking clown to your
20-year-old girlfriend. Special friend. Bitch, don't even put my name in it.
special friend.
Don't put my name in
I've
it.
been with you for 30 years.
I don't
I'm your
want-
special friend. Baby.
I don't want to be in it. Don't
wanna be
put
in
my
it.
name in it at all if I'm going to be
That's how I feel
special
too.
friend. But then, should they lie? Are they saying wife? They was never married.
Yeah, no, women know. But
What are you putting?
Wait a minute.
If you're being for real, what are you putting?
If you even get it, because they might not even acknowledge that because you're not a spouse.
You're not a
You're a
spouse.
special friend.
You're a
That could
friend.
just been like, oh, he been fucking her for 30 years. But he wouldn't commit to her. So he just been fucking
I don't
her.
even want to be in it.
Girl,
I don't even want to
oh
see no
my
pictures.
God.
Y'all gonna see some pictures, and that's it. If you gonna put me as special friend, and I've been with this motherfucker
Yeah, don't put me in that shit.
for 30 years.
I don't need to be at that. And
But I mean, if you ain't a spouse, you ain't gonna be in there as a spouse either.
yeah, so that's another thing.
So that's your fault, maybe y'all been 30 years.
That's something y'all got to discuss and think. That's communication.
That's
right there.
communication.
That's why I said, if whoever it is, whether male or female, because the females can
Or
go
they
first
might
too.
put fiance. They might put fiance for 30
What if
years.
you ain't even a motherfucking fiance because you ain't never got no ring and you bought your own motherfucking ring?
I mean,
And
can't nobody like prove whether you're fiance or not, though.
You ain't a goddamn.
Can't nobody
Who
say whether he
cares
didn't
your
get up.
fiance?
Right.
Because as we've seen,
That's nothing
a
legal still.
motherfucker will be. Listen, I go by everything off of a mortgage application. If you are not married, you are single. I don't care how engaged you
There
are.
you go.
You are not legally married. So you guys are not in a binding contract.
That's just a promise.
So
A
yeah.
fiance ring to me is a promise ring.
because sometimes
you're not legally
sometimes
married
a man will give you a ring to shut you the fuck up,
for
he has-
another 10 years.
but he has no intention on actually marrying
If there's
you.
no date, if there's no colors, if there's no venue, if there's no nothing, and y'all both want to get married, that was a promise ring.
Remember Kim from the Housewives of Atlanta? Look, I always go back
You
to
was
Housewives.
watching some fucking housewives.
I'm just saying. Remember season 2? That bitch got married to Big Papa, and that motherfucker was already married.
Oh yeah.
How are you engaged to a married man?
To a married
Because
man.
he's not.
They got engaged or married.
He can't marry her. He's still
Yes, he's
married
still
to his
married.
wife. Supposedly he was separated.
Because that's
But
a promise
I don't-
ring.
But I don't believe it was a legal separation. So you're still married.
That's a
technically.
promise ring.
So how are you engaged to a married man? Because y'all can never take it to that marriage level because he's still technically
You
married.
are for sure fiance and blah blah blah. If you want to put that on a pedestal, if there's some plans of marriage afterwards, some kind of way, a date, y'all that talked about it. Y'all know how much a venue is. Y'all know how much
You still not
a
special
DJ
as a
is.
fiance.
But you're not. I mean, some never given her even a fucking ring.
no, listen,
He made a choice to say, "Hey, I actually want to marry
I've
you."
had women cuss me out about the application too with a mortgage because I'm like, well, you're not. What do you want me to put, fiance?
What you want
There's
me to
no
say?
box for fiance because that has we think about that
No,
has
really.
no legal
That's not
standing.
married. Yeah,
It means nothing.
it means
Okay, you
nothing.
got a ring.
Legally, it
There's
means
no
nothing.
legal paperwork.
Correct.
So that actually means not a motherfucking thing. When we do your shit, you guys have separate ones because as far as we're concerned,
it's not a joint.
you boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah,
Times 10.
yeah.
Like to the 10th
When
power.
you're doing a housing,
Like-
it's gonna be your application to his. It ain't gonna be
Yeah.
a marriage.
You
one.
guys are not married.
Yeah.
So that fiance stuff, I mean, of course it holds weight. But it don't hold weight in legal terms.
Yeah.
It don't hold fucking weight.
And to be honest, it hold weight to who? It hold weight to him and to you.
Thank you.
That's it. He finally asked and you finally accepted. I mean, it holds weight to like, we're going to do this.
Right.
Which y'all could have said without that.
We've seen people engaged for 10, 5, 10, 20 years.
So it may not be... Let me tell you.
That whole means enough said.
Sometimes motherfuckers be engaged longer than they be married.
Because if that ain't the truth.
Bitch was engaged 20 years, only been married 2 years. Divorced.
No, for real.
So.
That's some real ass shit. I know we're supposed to end this positive.
We are. So, more of that story is, I mean, we might come back with this kind of topic, and I just feel like...
We have to, and I think we need to get a male perspective, too.
Yeah, we're going to have a male or two, whatever, on here. Mm-hmm. And if you're interested in coming on and you're a male, let us know. Comments below.
You can't be fucking weird, though, because you come
if you're a weirdo. And if we have to, like, live it in, we'll just have to do that.
Yeah, because I don't know about you.
Depends on if we know you or not. But
might have to kill
if you are folks and you want to come on, let us know.
Because strangers, we might have to kill your ass coming up and trying to do some bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, I watch SVU too much, and I
first 48 over here,
and I watch
60-minute tape,
and I watch Dateline too much. I'm like, yo, I might have to kill you in my own home. So. No.
But if you want to comment below on anything we talked about, whether you have an opinion about it or whatever, some constructive criticism, or, other than that, you guys need to like, subscribe, and put on your notifications.
And don't forget to follow our Instagram and our TikTok.
Instagram.
Wind Down. Mm-hmm. I believe it's Wind Down Podcast on both. I think there's like some underscores and stuff, but if you type it in without the underscores, it still pops up.
Yeah, on Instagram is _Wind Down Podcast
underscore
again.
Yeah.
And you guys are we'll put the
description.
Below. Yeah. And on YouTube, please subscribe and comment and like and put on them notifications so y'all know when we drop.
And let us know if there's something specific you want us to talk about and discuss, because
we're gonna keep it real. We ain't got time for the fuckeries. Okay. Other than that, we'll see you guys next week.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. And we'll let you know. We might be coming with a guest. Maybe not. If not, that's enough for
y'all. Motherfuckers be scarred to get up here. Okay? We be having them scarred. Just know that. Okay? Scarred.
And we...
I don't know why I took that earring out. It was bothering my ear, though.
Wind Down Podcast. See you guys next week.
Tune in next week.